Ziggity Zig back with more Tales from the Ladder, and this is a game sent in by RuSH. It was actually, I think he sent it to me about a week ago, and this is going up against RuSH Sound. Sound Rush, they had like two new age tech bands in the early 1990s. So, no, we're going to play some RuSH. No, I prefer Sound. Sound's so much better. Man, it's so meta. I listen to Sound. You don't listen to Sound? Why don't you listen to Sound? It really does sound like quite a... Oh, is it new age rock? No, it's some kind of rock. It's prog rock. That's the one I'm trying to think of. Oh my god. No one working on early refinery just yet. Probably going for, well, yeah, obviously we'll be going for the first supply depot going up at the top of the ramp here. Sound is working on his, and yet RuSH is putting his pretty close to the base. So it's going to be a little bit of pause. Oh, must have been a pause. Quick pause. Okay. Don't you love it when you say that and the other person doesn't respond or know what it means? RuSH is correct, because you hate that when you start saying PP and the other person's like, WTF? And the only thing that you get is on the screen, it just says, press F3 to unpause. And you're like, well, that's actually the only direction I'm getting right now. Total Biscuit had one where he was playing in ladder, and I think he waited for the guy, and the person just paused the game arbitrarily, didn't say anything, and was gone for something like 3 minutes. And Total Biscuit says, you know, after 3 minutes, I think I'm allowed to unpause. And the guy comes back and rages at him after another 3 minutes has passed. He's gone for like 6 minutes, but without saying anything. So, well, there you go. So, sorry, phone, no problem. He's just worried about the phone going off. And yeah, so that's... the phone going off. Well, maybe you should put your sound to vibrate. Just change your name over to vibrate. Ha 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 ha. I worked really hard in my brain to make that joke, and I really wanted to make it despite the fact that I knew it was not going to be funny. So there you go. Commitment. Yay! Who says men have commitment issues? Everybody else. Let's not get into that right now. I am in... dire straits is about the best way I could put it, so I decided, well, let's cast some StarCraft games. Specifically this one, because we needed one this week. So, booyah, necessity is the mother of invention, and I have invented a series a long time ago called Tales from the Ladder, which I kind of like because, have you ever noticed the icon? No one looked at the icons, but have you ever noticed the icon? The icon is actually kind of, I took it from something that might look like an old black and white movie, sort of like a kind of creepy horror movie type thing, and that's sort of what I was going for, even though I didn't fully carry it off in exactly the way that I wanted to. But we got yeah, pretty much mirror matchups going on at the moment. We got one Reaper coming out for RuSH, and just the Marines coming out for Sound. Not really seeing it, unless that is the... No, that's just an SCV. So, yeah, it was red on the map. That wouldn't have been blue, so whatever. They both have... actually, no, Sound has done a bit of a scout on RuSH's base, but RuSH does not have much of an idea as to what's going on in Sound's base. But with this little guy over here with the jetpacks on him, the fancy jetpacks, not these basic pedestrian jetpacks of these guys over here. I mean, they're unionized, and you can't be expected to think that they're going to have the good gear. But what's going to happen here is RuSH is going to hop here, or actually, not even going to hop there. He's coming right over the corner. He's looking for a turd, maybe. He's going to hop there, and then hop right up there. Up he goes. Not even sure the Marines even saw that, so he's going to come in here for a full scout, get a pretty clear idea as to what's going on. There are a number of, just a couple of Marines in here, really, and he does see that it's going to a factory with just a single refinery at the moment, so this could be an M&M. You never know. But now he certainly does know kind of what he's up against, where he has gone the Reaper expand, and he's putting down his own factory, so he's going to expand into a pretty much basic bio army as well. He's going to want to stop this Reaper for just his... Oh, no, he did... Even faster. Alright, even faster when he stops moving, but as long as you're out of combat, he does regenerate health. Did not know that. I don't use Reapers barely at all, mostly because I barely ever play Terran, because I barely ever play StarCraft 2. And when I do play StarCraft 2, I like to play random, because what is skill? Skill is for good players. Those of us with no skill, we just like to scrub our way through. Scrub-a-dub-dub, thanks for the grub. Yeah, Tassadar. And so it looks like Sound is going to start his defenses off with just a quick little series, I think one followed by... Do I see a two? Do I see a second? No, I see a Reaper. So it's just going to be the one... Widow Mine. I couldn't remember the name of it. I was just, that was it. Anytime that I'm paused like that, I am honestly stalling for time, trying to think of the word I'm trying to think of. So, the refinery, he's getting his gas over here, and his gas is going to be on this three-pronged little maintenance structure, and once he completes that, then he'll be able to send home to his parents and write a nice letter home using some nice cursive scripting, because his parents are going to appreciate that, because I sent him to collegiate school, and the refinery, that's the name of it. So it took me that long to remember the refinery. So that's my secret secret, my dirty, dirty little secret. I have many other dirty, dirty little secrets, but that's the only one you're going to learn about. So it's going to be Widowmine versus Widowmine now, and this Reaper's going to try to make its way up, but I'm not sure if Sound sort of got an idea that there was a Widowmine coming up there, but this Reaper is going to have a bit of a hard time. There is a number of... Oh, and he does see that with the scan, so really, I would have gone up and picked that off really quick and then just zoom back out of there, because that's just a lost Widowmine just there. This Reaper is not going to make it into the Fandangled country, and those 4 SCVs are certainly going to be in a little bit of a hard case. The Reaper's going to try to make its way up. No, did it try to make its way up? No, just some units trying to make their way back up into the middle. Did lose a number, pretty much all 4. Well, just 1. Actually, no SCVs lost? That's crazy good. Well done, RuSH, for not losing any SCVs. I feel something, I hear something vibrating. That's a term that you use here in the, oh man. Really? And I'm getting images from the person who is just causing me strife right now, because images are exactly what you want to see on your phone. So we're getting another dropship coming in down here, because it looks like, oh wait, it looks like my mouse is getting stuck. Blah, 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 blah. But Sound is getting just a little bit taken off, where RuSH is able to continue on with this push. Is workers killed? Okay, so Sound took out 1 of them, and then managed to take out another 3. And there's Sound did manage to get a Widowmine dug directly down in here, and it looks like RuSH has no idea that it's actually there, waiting for a little bit of... No connection there, so we gotta come up here and we gotta be ready for it, and oh! Wait a minute. He does move his dudes out of the way, so the Viking comes over to have a look at it, and he's just gonna take the bait and leave 1 SCV to get hit by it. Waiting for a little bit of energy. Here comes the Viking. Meanwhile, Sound is trying to load up another drop. Ready for the scan, There's the scan, and the Widowmine is toast. That is enough. 1 scan without a number of units. There is a tank now rolling out right now for RuSH, so he is kind of moving into it, and then there's the remainder of the barracks, so it's going to be a full-on barracks and bio, with a little bit of support from the mech bay. The mech bay, he says, the factory, where I just kind of making stuff up. The starport is probably going to want maybe a reactor, wouldn't you think, on the end of that one? Because then you can just pump out the dropships, and that just sounds... Don't look up pump out the dropships on urbandictionary.com. At least if you do, and your mom catches you looking at it, do not tell them that I sent you there. Well, you could. I mean, geez, I have kind of not a great street record with mothers of children, especially not in the last 2.5 hours, and that is all you're going to get out of me, and I'm going to start taking things personally and making personal remarks. So, down come the not so much Doom drop. It's only just 1 drop ship, but it's got a couple of Hellions in it, and these guys are not quite upgraded. The stim pack is barely about halfway finished, so it's not going to be too bad of a deal. The 2 Vikings here, they're really going to do quite a number here, because he boosted, and then he got stuck over at the wrong end of the map, and then he ran out his boost, just running off into the sunset that wasn't actually there. Someone forgot to tell the medevac that when you get to the edge of the map, that's just a painting on the wall. You are actually bound by that area. Here's this guy, and he's got a couple of kills. He's got 2 kills. So if we look at the units killed, workers killed 12 right now for Sound. But if you look over the RuSH is actually still ahead, getting up to the 2 base, and he is doing quite well on the 2 base. So since he was saturated, or not really saturated, but mining off of 2 base earlier, his army supply is actually now, army and worker supply is actually now dwarfing Sound. Now, does it come down to anything in the EPM? I'm going to go with no, because RuSH is certainly not ahead in the EPM style, or rally manner. There's some stimmed out Marines in here, which could probably use a little bit of a heal, but currently we don't actually have any dropships, so what are we working on? Do we have some dropships going? A little bit of dropships, maybe? No, he's working on, okay, there's the reactor, and now it's going to be double dropships. Here we go! Double dropships, wham, bam, not enough money, never mind. So we swing back over here to Sound's base, and he's not the most impressive army that you've ever seen, but he is trying to keep up, because those continued attacks, those continued drugs, those are kind of suicide drops is the big problem there. If they weren't suicide drops, then Sound would be in a really good position right now, but the problem is that RuSH is taking them out and really not losing that many workers. Well, 12 after 2 drops, but still he is quite a bit ahead. So now Sound's going to kind of try to come into the north end of his expansion base just there. What kind of upgrades are we working on at the moment? I'm going to just quickly check out that we've got concussive shells and stim. So it's concussive shells for RuSH and stim for Sound. That's going to get blown at by the missile turret, and they might... Oh, 3 dudes lose their lives really quickly up there, and I don't think that did anything to the... Whoops. Okay, what does Control E do? Anyone? 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 Oh, it takes me right back to the damn middle! What the crap? Alright, we gotta plus size our way through this. get blown away. Okay, so I think we're back to approximately where we were before I accidentally hit Control-E. And Control-E seems to do a big... I mean, it sends you right back to the beginning, so I had to fast-forward the whole way here, and really, I didn't do anything interesting while we were waiting for all of that to happen. What is, Oh, I see! He can't get out, so he has to blow up the large technology bay. Also known as the missile silo? No, my god, that's Brood War. Also known as StarCraft 1, which is what I knew it by, because when Brood War came out, I said, this seems difficult, I'm not going to play this anymore. What the hell, the Corsair? Yeah, I didn't like the Corsair. Honestly, just didn't quite like it. These are very similar armies that we're looking at here. Kind of, you know, tank dropship Marines. These Marines are rocking some combat shield, but they do not yet have... Well, actually, oh no, it's Army 1. They do have the combat shield. It doesn't look like they have the combat shield. I don't... Oh, one of you turn to the right. You, Chachki. Turn around. There's your combat shield. Alright, I just needed to make sure of that. So there we are, definitely combat shield. And they both have... Armor 1. Weapons 1 is on the way for both of them. Did you get Armor 1 before? Oh yeah, you go up against Terran, you usually get Armor before you get Weapons. Derp. Which is one of the things that I totally forget whenever playing anything in this game. But we come down to this maneuver here, and I'm wondering if RuSH is going to set up, is going to fly in. He seems poised to defend this position, kind of, with the Vikings in behind, and he's going to feign a drop? No, alright, he's going to move down, he's looking for the third. That's what he was doing there, alright. That was a good maneuver, and now he's going to bring the tanks down, probably position the tanks up right about 1, 2, 3, sort of 1, 2, 3 up around here. This is my guess. My guess is 1, 2, 3, right there. 1, 2, 3. Come on, bring him up, bring him up, bring him up, bring him up, bring him up. Put your tanks down. Put your face away. And the tanks are going to drop down. Oh, they're going to come a little lower. Okay. No, right up. Come on. Oh, I see. He's going to drop them right there, and that way he can blow up these missile turrets. That is a pretty sweet deal. So the problem there is that a lot of these bio units kind of get rocketed up there, but no, they can't really do much good. Oh my god, they can reach the command center from down there? That is awesome sauce. So now he's moving his units really, really close to the tanks so that the tanks cannot actually attack them. RuSH does make it out with a few units. These tanks are not retreating. And, oh, alright, he is going to get a scan up there. Aiming for that. Oh dear. More explosions. Nope. Okay, not done. And these tanks are probably not going to make it out of this alive. That's kind of poor showing. And I wonder what that does to the army supply. Well, it still kind of evens things out. They're both on 2 bases, but the thing is that was a little bit of a contested base because he did finish this one up. So he's working on his... Was that the one that was getting shot at? I can't remember which one was actually being shot at. Was it the one that they were building? Yeah, so I think he actually prevented... RuSH prevented Sound from building a 3rd base. All this is happening, by the way, because I am trying to drive home through the snow without snow tires tonight. So what are you going to do there? You're going to waste a lot more time by casting a StarCraft game, because that's just what you do when you have very little interest in continuing your own hazy grip on this mortal coil. Just move in a little bit more. Just walk in. I'm going to lean my ladder on your love and walk on up. Look at this. The Viking statues make it look like there's this crazy vulture neck sticking out. And here comes another drop. Another attempt at a drop. These guys are going wicked slow. There's the boost. I'm fairly certain that I'm on faster. Not quite at faster +2. Here they come now. And I don't know that RuSH is going to see this. He may have seen it. He may be coming back up to try to do something about it. No, didn't see it. So this large mob by Sound is now going to come in, stimming. RuSH did see it just as they were landing there and got the majority of his barracks all kind of rerouted just here, or at least he grabbed these units all at once. And now he's going to try to come in here with... Oh, these frontline units are going to be a little bit toast. He's bringing in some SCVs, probably just as cannon fodder, to take it away from the remainder of these units, but it's going to be Marines, and these medevacs at least are getting away, but they're not getting away with any actual units in them. So the army supply is definitely now pouring over towards RuSH. I don't see any Marauders on the map, actually, at the moment. Are there any Marauders whatsoever? None. It's a Marine tank, Viking dropship-ish. And 3rd base here for RuSH. 3rd base, kind of on the way there for Sound. Does have almost enough workers to try to deal with it, but he's sort of running out of mining time. He's definitely getting mined out on his natural. If he's not already mined out on his first, I would be surprised. Oh no, he's still doing all right there. That's probably because the number of drops that happened right there. So he's actually mining out his natural and his main at the exact same time. So meanwhile, Sound has barely even touched his natural, but is completely mined out on his main. Now RuSH is still doing this maneuver where he's not actually going with the. Is this? Oh, it's. Oh, I thought it was a tank being carried by a dropship. I love that. No, it's a Thor being carried. Oh, here's a little question mark. Riddle me this, Sound. When I come around this Elnaga Tower, what will be the odds of your surviving for the next 18 minutes? Well, with this sensor tower, it's certainly going to be a lot bigger than normal. And RuSH now seeing the boundary of the sensor tower and saying, I don't feel like going over that one anymore. Nope. I don't know why I went to that voice, but that's just what's happening. 19 minutes into the game, it does seem to be a pretty sizable 153 army. It is still pretty even as far as upgrades go. They're remarkably even. The only difference there is the concussive shells is there for RuSH, but still no real marauders on the board, so effectively a perfectly even game. So large, sizable army is moving out, whereas this drop of an army is moving out on the other side, so this looks like it might actually end up being a base race. So we'll see what kind of base race we have going, and in fact, if RuSH gets over here to take out this fourth, there's very little to deal with this apart from hopefully, if these missile turrets can only get maybe a couple of shots off. They're not going to get too many. Oh, actually they got more than I expected. And now they're trying to drop. And meantime, RuSH is actually coming back home. He's moving back home. He's worried about his third base, which is bizarre. Because the problem there is Sound is now taking a fourth. So with Sound taking a fourth and killing, not really killing, because he's not actually working over the orbital command quite so much. And the worker supply is definitely in Sound's favor. And that was kind of a harsh losses on both sides, because now if you look at the units killed, it's pretty similar. But the thing is, RuSH has not been able to make a dent into the economy of Sound just yet, and he's just barely hanging in there. Meantime, Sound is now working on levels 2 for Super Mario World, and but RuSH is getting the armory, so the armory is going to be finished soon, so he'll be able to start working on vehicle plating, perhaps Thors, perhaps, I don't know what we'll have moving on, but here is this unit, at least this large unit of units, this contingency, hang on, conglomerate, no, there's a word for it, it is a legion, no, cohort! Cohort is the word I was thinking of, and I don't care if it's wrong or right, but he's not going to come up in the top side of the ledge, and one of these tanks is not like the other. One of these tanks is dead in a second. One. Boom! And there it goes. So he's planted his tanks down in behind this, and he's got himself up here on the ramp, and this is just going to be devastating, where he's finally got to where he wants to be. He has got himself up on this ramp in a very well-defended position, but the scans are happening all over, and now Sound knows how many units he's up against, and RuSH knows effectively how many units he's got that he's up against. They're both kind of scanning for either Widow Mines or, I don't know, slightly smaller Widow Mines, slightly less egregious Widow Mines. All sorts of scans going on for both players right now, but they both do have the sensor tower, so they are trying to protect themselves against any kind of weird, crazy drops from kind of that one, I'm going to go with counterclockwise direction, but now it's going to turn into the infamous TVT that no one likes to watch, which is the Tank Bio War. Oh, the tanks are going to siege up. They're going to siege up far too late. Far too late. And RuSH has moved up, and he is definitely going to be able to take out this non-planetary fortress base. I don't know why the dropships are all up over here, because they're not going to be able to help out anybody, but he's also split up his bio, where he's just taking out command center after command center after command center. Sound still has an awful lot of resources, money, everything, but it also kind of, I don't know, it kind of looks like it, having split up his army, RuSH is somehow keeping this together. This is sort of bizarre. I really did not expect that to go that way, because now RuSH is up against Sound's 2-2 units, so Sound is actually hanging it up. Okay, this is when I tell people that I'm not the best StarCraft caster ever, because I honestly got kind of confused at the end there, and I'm going to have Griff laugh his face off and tell me how that ended, if I make it home in the snow alive. Leave me a comment down below, send me an email, ziggityzig@gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter @ziggityzig. Stay tuned for more Tales from the Ladder!